Hello everyone. Good morning. Hi, Dr. Rahul Pratap Singh Kaurav. Today we are going to discuss something about reference management, how to look at your references, how to consider your references, what are the different things which are associated with the reference management, what are the different things which we should be take care of before writing a literature review, how reference management can help you in writing a better reference management can help you in writing a better review of literature. Before moving ahead, I just wanted to thank everyone who is involved into the organizing of this MOOC program, a 4-week executive development program on data analysis and research. I trust this self-paced online program is helping you much, sharpening your skills of research. And I'm sure everyone who is involved into the organizing committee, everyone who is into the organizing team are playing very involved, deep and keen program for you. All of you are lucky enough when you are starting your research journey or when you are doing this all for your satisfaction, for your organization goals, for your own sense of achievement, you are into the generation of internet. When we have started journey, these references, identifying papers, identifying material were very, very critical for us. When we have started our journey, let me share one of my experience. I've completely written a paper, done citation and referencing everything. And finally, when we were about to submit that paper, my supervisor has asked me to change the referencing style from one to another one. This newer one is an APA 6, which was very new to the situation, very new to the market. Trust me, this has taken more than a week even. And efforts, in fact, I should say, the time which I spent in completely developing of that paper, almost another 30% time of that same I have to devote on the reference management. I have to change with the referencing styles. I have to change with a lot of other things. And this has took a huge amount of time with that reference. All of you have been into the generation of internet. Everything is available. Just you simply click something, you just name it, you just remember it, and you will find it on your tips. You are traveling, you can see it on your internet. If you're not traveling, you can see it even in your beds whenever you are trying to see those. So with that good and positive notion, we can start our journey about how to develop a literature review, how to develop a better literature review. But before moving into the better literature review, finally, before moving into the better literature review, we will see something which helps us in managing the references and all the protocols and everything. When you are writing your literature review, you must be well versed with the sources you can acquire, from where these materials are available, and everything. If you can manage your data, if you can manage your papers well, I trust 40% or maybe 50% of your task because you are managing it well. This is a very general phenomena. You search at a paper, read the paper, highlight something, and finally you find it very difficult to memorize at the time when you're finally trying to convert that material to the text, to your research paper, to your literature review. When you're finding is very difficult, Mendeley has come up very generous developers we have got. They are offering everything in free. There is not even a subscription or a premium plan. No intention. They are just trying to help the researchers community. When they are trying to help researchers community, we must accept their generosity. We must thank them before moving into anything. So let us start our journey. But before Mendeley, let us understand the different purposes of different important role of Mendeley. How Mendeley can help us in developing a better literature review. But what is a better literature review? What are the qualities of good literature review? How do we develop or why we should develop a good review of literature. This is an essence, this is a key. So when we talk about what literature review can serve for us, the first answer is this provides an interpretation of existing literature. What most of us does, we look at the paper, identify important themes, identify important things, and then sometimes we take their definition, put them into the inverted code so that we can be saved by plagiarism and all that cases, all that challenges. But yes, if you wanted to do more than that, offer an interpretation. Do not offer their codes, do not offer their findings, do not offer their what they were trying to say, offer the interpretation. X number of researchers were calling it with the different ways. Y number of researchers have defined it with the different ways. Many of us might be thinking literature review is something which can like simply summarizing others' thoughts, summarizing other paper is a literature review, and that is why they have defined they are trying to understand. Many of the researchers have write literature review, chronological order also. Whereas I'm of the opinion it is not necessarily chronological order, but yes, you must offer everything in support of phenomena X, everything in support or everything in argument of phenomena X also. That is why I call it interpretation is important, not simply summarizing. If you are simply summarizing that, probably you are getting into several other type of challenges. Maybe the one who is your expert during your viva when you are finally defending your PhD viva, or maybe reviewer, they might ask you, what is the objective of literature review? What is the new in your literature review? What is the novelty in your literature? What is different in your literature review? When you look at these perspectives, you will find these are the completely different thing. And then we come to know that reviewers are not helping us, or probably they are doing this type of comment, they are doing that type of comment. But the challenge is we have not justified our role being a researcher. The interpretation of literature review is very important. Based on this interpretation, we need to understand, you need to come up with the dialects. So say somebody who was in favor of this, and then how many of them are not favor of this. And that is why I trust if you have read a good book of principles and practices of management, any good book of managerial practices, management processes, if you look at, and if you are able to observe, if you are able to recall the theories, the theory of F.W. Taylor, Henry Fewell's theory, Max Weber theory, every theory. First, they teach you the complete theory, what was hidden in the theory, what was the theory. And finally, when you completely understand that theory, they give you a separate heading, which is called as criticism of this theory. That criticism is making the dialect. F.W. Taylor has developed this theory. These were the researchers who have contradicted, argued, and defined it in this way. Then this was the generation who have argued, contradicted, were having different opinions also, and they were finally defined in this way. Then only if you're not creating a dialect, if you're not creating a step-by-step procedure on that, probably saying what is the present shape of any variable, what you see. Look at the theory of technology acceptance model. Look at the variables or antecedents or consequences of job satisfaction. Probably someday somebody has started with only one thought of a variable, but nowadays job satisfaction, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, they have been defined. So how they have come up in this shape is probably could be understand only with the help of literature. That helps us in understanding what was a different opinion, what was a different thought leadership when they were doing this. It's not only about historical perspective, it is also about current research in place or a schema of a particular field, the complete architecture, the complete manifest, whatever the things are including. If there are several things which has been excluded, why and how they have been excluded could be answered with the review of literature. Review of literature also helps you in calculating the impact of latest information. What is the latest information which is hidden here? And what is the impact of that latest information is also the part. And then once you understand these 4 steps of review of literature, probably you'll also be able to understand what is the gap. There are different types of gap, 5, 6, or maybe 7 types of gap. And I find multiple researchers struggling on research gap. Sir, how do I find a research gap? My supervisor is multiple time asking me what is the gap, which gap you are trying to address, what you are trying to fill, but how can I get that gap? And I always believe this gap is available in the literature which you have read for your final development of your thesis or maybe your research paper. This gap is already available there. You need to put your keen eyes on that gap. That's it. If you put your keen eyes on that, that will definitely help. That will definitely help you in understanding why my supervisor is saying this. One more interesting place, secret of the trade, multiple researchers, when they write their paper, they write directions for further research directions, future research areas, future development areas. Those are also called as research gaps. So person X was writing a paper and he has said, we know about P, we also know about Q, we also know about R. P and Q are related. Q and R are related. Scientifically, we can say P and R are also related, but theoretically, it is not proven yet. Say, for example, when we take, you can consider these PQR like customer satisfaction, service quality. This one is service quality. Service quality lead to customer satisfaction, and customer satisfaction will lead to customer loyalty. So when you think about these 2 variables, if you are offering a good service quality, customer satisfaction will be definitely better. If you're offering better customer satisfaction, the customer loyalty will also be better. What if I ask you, does service quality also lead to the customer loyalty? So probably then we can come up with a narrow, sir. Okay, sir, we have got this idea. This is the gap. Or maybe service quality in case of customer loyalty is increased in case of hotels, but none of us, or very few of the researchers have talked about effect of service quality on customer loyalty. In a special reference of banking system. So these are the things which are hidden in literature review. You have to put your eyes on that. That's it. If you're very keen, you will, and if you read 10, 15, 20 odd number of papers which are related to your research, I'm sure you will get a research gap. This is not possible if you have read about 20 papers on a single area and you are saying you are still not able to identify a research gap. Probably you need to rethink about your research acumen. So I'm sharing just one secret of the trade here to understand how to identify research gaps. And the last on this slide, but actually not least, your review of literature provides information for relevancy and coherency. What is relevant and what is not relevant. The days have gone when we used to say these theories are applicable to every business, all sort of business. After March 2020, the theories have been different. A day before, I was looking at a newspaper article. During the pandemic, people have started investing in SIPs, systematic investment plans. And this was a very huge difference from 2019 to 2020, then 21, then 22. They have presented this newspaper article with these many insights. So what is the relevant in the present scenario? The theory which has been given in 2015 or even 2019 is no more relevant to the present situation, present pandemic situation. So what has changed? Is that actually relevant? Is that actually coherent? What I'm trying to search, what I'm trying to looking for? If it is, then yes, you can go ahead. And if it is not, then we need to rethink on this theory. probably this is also a kind of gap which all of us need to understand with that reference, right? You can note down the questions which are whatever you are trying to ask to me into the evening session. Just note down those sessions and I'll help you everyone on that. What are the questions, whatever questions you are facing here. So this is the first part of this session. We'll continue with this. There will be probably 3 sessions on this. Thank you, everyone.